Peggy Clary of Clary Law Offices, one of our estate planning attorneys, and tonight's video talk, which we do each evening on a topic of estate planning, is really related to Buzz Lightyear. Now you may ask, what does Buzz Lightyear and estate planning have in common? And actually a lot, because Buzz Lightyear's tagline was always to infinity and beyond. And oftentimes when I meet with clients, I feel like when we sit at the table, the line tagline that would describe our conference is complexity and beyond. And so clients often do 3 things that affect the ability to have an estate plan truly work effectively. And the first one is really adding the complexity of the hand from the crypt type of planning. So think about, the old horror movies where you'd see the hand of the mummy come out. But what I mean by that is clients sometimes seek to put in so many complexities and restrictions on how their beneficiaries can access money, when they can use it, the length of time, that as time progresses on, the need to manage from the grave becomes the primary focus, and this document that you've created to supposedly help your beneficiaries becomes really challenging to manage. And maybe that's in how successor trustees are appointed. Maybe it's in understanding the payment of income and principal over time, but always thinking about, as a client who wants to create an estate plan, is the complexity of this document that I'm seeking to exert control when I'm no longer here, is that going to overshadow the purpose of the document? So the second element of complexity and beyond is often related to translation. So using or writing a document which is very hard to understand, that could be interpreted multiple ways. And this is really more, sadly, on your lawyer than sometimes on the client. But sometimes the wording is so hard to understand and read, and if-then clauses, that when a person reads it 5-10 years later, or a judge is interpreting it, there's lack of clarity on what was the true intent. So sometimes while you may hear about the buzzwords of an ELE or a GRAT or a CRUT or a bypass, sometimes just keeping things really simple in your document language can be really effective planning tool to avoid dealing down the line with greater complexity and understanding. Now, the third way that I see the complexity really scale up is expense. And so what I mean by that is, by creating such an elaborate document that works with the hand from the grave, managing control when you're not here, or using elaborate planning tools and complex language that leaves a lot of room for interpretation on what you meant as the testator or the grantor writing it, is that those events create significant expense in administering the document. So you might need to have hearings on ambiguous terms. You might need to look at having hearings on application and standards. So the more you can think about keeping your planning simplified, reaching your planning goal without adding the Buzz Lightyear complexity and beyond overtone, will really help your beneficiaries that you want to receive your asset do that without the added time, cost, and expense that can come with complex planning. So I hope this video was helpful to you. We hope you live a life marked by civility, dignity, and respect here at Clary Law. And if we can be of assistance here in looking at maybe one of these complex documents you've inherited, or you want to try to avoid making the complex steps of Buzz Lightyear, let us know, and thanks again for your time.